everyone. Here we have our exercise ABCs. This is a guide, a refresher for all of our exercises A through Z. If you're not sure of how to do them, this is the place to be. I'll go through each letter and I'll show you some modifications to either make it easier or harder. Thanks for tuning in. Here you go. A is for arm circles. You stand with your feet together, your arms up, parallel to the ground, like a T. You can go small circles, engaging your shoulders, your arms, the muscles in your back, or you can go big, wide circles. You can also go forward, or you can go backward. You can try one forward, one backwards. And lastly, you can even try to challenge your balance by standing on one leg while doing your arm circles. Make sure that if you're trying with balance, you're holding that leg, thigh parallel to the ground. Abs are tight, back is tight when you do your arm circles. B is for burpees. You'll start with your hands overhead. You bring them down to the floor in front of your feet. You'll jump out into push-up position, jump back into your hands, and then up to the sky. That is one burpee. You can choose to make it a little bit harder by adding a push-up in between, like this. Hands up, down, feet out, push up, feet in, jump up. Enjoy. C is calf raises. I'm going to start with my feet just slightly separated. I'm going to put my hands either on my hip or, for an extra challenge of balance, over my head. I'm going to raise my heels off of the floor while keeping all of my muscles tight and engaged, and then slowly lower. I raise my heels high and slowly lower. From the side view, raise high, slightly lower. Raise high, slowly lower. Slow and under control. You can also choose to do on one foot, making it a little bit more difficult. You'll place your opposite foot, shoelaces against the back of your calves. And again, hands on your waist or overhead, and slowly up and down. Opposite side, shoelaces behind your calves, slowly up, controlled down. Go for it. D is for donkey kicks. We'll start in tabletop position. Hands directly below our shoulders, arms are straight. Knees directly below our hips, shoelaces to the floor. I'm going to lift one leg, keeping my knee bent up to the sky, and then lower back to start. I'll alternate and switch to my other leg, lifting my foot up to the sky and back down to start. When you lift, you want to make sure that your knee is bent and you're activating your glutes and your hamstrings. Lift. Almost feel as though you're trying to imprint the bottom of your shoe into the ceiling or into the sky. Keep your hips pointing down and parallel to the floor. Great job. Our E is an elbow to knee windmill. We're challenging all of our core muscles and our balance during this move. Our feet are spread, our arms are up, and I'm going to lift my left knee to come and touch my right elbow. And then alternate to the other side, moving across my body, elbow to knee, keeping my core tight to hold my balance. Opposite arm stays up in the air while I go. Great job. F is for frog jumps. I'm going to spread my feet nice and wide and get ready for a squat, hands in front, touching down to the ground. Then I'm going to launch myself up into the air with my hands overhead. Turn your toes out wide, hands down. Let's try it. Squat, jump and reach. Squat, jump and reach. Make sure that you keep your chest up and we're not folding down towards the ground. Really bring your bottom back and down when you go. Explode off the ground. Awesome work. G is for good mornings. You start with your feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in your knees, hands go up behind your head like you'd be ready for a sit-up or a crunch. I'm going to slowly bend, keeping my back flat, and then rise up, engaging my glutes and my quads. Slow and under control, down, rise up for your good morning. When you go down, make sure to keep your back flat. Nice and straight, slow and under control. And then really clench your bottom muscles when you come to standing. Thrust your hips forward to activate all of those muscles. Great job. H is for high knees, and I have two ways I like to do them. High impact and low impact. I'll start with my high impact. I'm going to put my hands out straight in front of me, and I'm going to drive as quickly as I can, one knee at a time, up to try and hit my hands. When I do this, I'm working my heart and my lungs and building my cardio. You're gonna get tired, you're gonna get sweaty. Here we go. Driving those knees, only letting my toes hit the floor, not letting my heels come down. Quick to build that cardio. Low impact, feet shoulder width apart, hands up over your head, extended long. I'm going to bring my knee up like a march, and I'm going to bring my elbows down at the same time. 1, 2, 3, reaching up as my leg goes back down to the floor, and pulling down when I pull my knee up to meet it. Keep it up. I is for inchworms. They're like a slower, more broken down burpee. I'm going to start again with my hands over my head, my feet spread just about shoulder width apart. Slowly bending, forward bend down, and I'm going to place my hands on the floor. Feel free to bend your knees here if you need to. Once my hands are firmly planted, I leave my feet where they are, and I walk my hands out For an extra challenge, go ahead and do your push-up. Keeping your abs tight, walk your hands back to your feet, and then we're standing tall all the way back up, reaching to the sky. Let's do that one more time. Hands come down in front of our feet, planted firm. Walk your hands out into a high plank push-up position. Feel free to add that push-up, and then walking your hands all the way back, then up to standing. You did it! Great job! J is for jump squats. Feet spread a little wider than shoulder distance apart. We're going to squat down, and then on the way up, we're going to explode off of the ground to jump as high up as we can. You have two options for your hands. You can keep them in front of you and then reach up as you explode, or you can keep them at your head like we would for a crunch or a sit-up, and then reach up as you explode. Here we go. Down, up, down, up. Really explode, pushing through your heels as you go up, and make sure your knees don't creep forward when you go down past your toes. Keep your bottom back. Chest always stays up. Down, up, down, up. And again, other option, hands at your head. Always remember, don't forget to breathe. Your muscles need that oxygen. I've always loved kickboxing, so K is for kicks. This is all about doing it with the correct form. So don't get too crazy. You're not trying to kick too high, and you're not trying to go too fast. I like to keep my hands up for traditional boxing. My feet are gonna come closer together. I'm going to slowly and under control kick forward with one leg. As soon as that opposite leg is planted, I go up with the other. And I'm going to alternate as I kick. Again, this is not about how fast or how high you can go. You're tightening your core muscles to keep your balance so that you're not falling forward or falling back. And you're kicking slow and under control. Once you've got your balance and you're feeling comfortable, you can speed it up. But again, core is tight so that you're working all your muscles. Way to go. L is for lying legless. I'm going to lay down on my mat like I would be ready for my corpse pose. Legs out straight, back down, head down. For an easier way to do your lying legless, you can shimmy your hands underneath your bottom to help for support. In my lying leg lift, I'm going to keep my head down, my back flat. I'm going to lift my legs up off the floor. Notice they are straight. My legs are tight and engaged. I lift up to straight so that I'm vertical, and then I lower slowly down. Notice that I'm not going to let my legs touch the floor. I come straight back up to vertical, and then right back down to the ground. Try to maintain a straight leg the entire time and engage your abs and the muscles in your legs to be most efficient. Keep up the good work. M is one of my favorites. We have mountain climbers. You can do this one of two ways. You can stay in a high plank position or on your forearms for a low plank position. I prefer high plank. When I do my mountain climbers, I drive my knee up to touch my elbow. You can go slow and under control, alternating each side, keeping your body flat, parallel to the ground. Or, if you'd like a little extra cardio challenge, you can go fast. Don't forget to breathe. All your muscles are working hard right now. Nicely done. N is for narrow squats. You're going to stand with your feet close together. I start with my hands by my sides. I squat down, and I bring my hands up in front of my face, and then back down as I push up through my heels. Down, up, down, up. Remember, push your bottom back and keep your chest up. Feet together, down, up. You want to try your hardest not to let your knees pass your toes when you come down. Push through your heels. Tighten all those leg muscles as you rise. O is for overhead press. For a good firm stance, my feet are spread slightly further than shoulder distance apart. I'm going to bring my hands up over my head, arms in a field goal position. You can slightly bend your knees, and when you're ready, you're going to push your arms up overhead and straighten your arms up to the sky. Back down to starting position. Arms in a field goal. Again, you raise your arms, lifting straight up to the sky or the ceiling, and then back down to start. This looks easy, and sometimes, sure, you can add some weights to it, but if you're actively engaging all the muscles in your shoulders, your arms, and your back, after a few, you'll really start to feel it. I encourage you to keep your core tight, and again, just like our arm circles, if you'd like to add an extra challenge, you can always do one leg, standing tall, pressing firm through that standing foot, always pressing through your heel, and then make sure to do the same on the other side for balance. Way to go. You guessed it, P is for plank. You choose high plank or on your forearms. Remember, when you're in a plank, you want to activate and engage all the muscles in your body. You want to stay parallel, and you want to tuck your hips. Not here with bottom in the sky, straight, firm body. And as you already know, there are so many different plank variations. So if you'd like to get creative, go for it and try something that might seem a little bit harder for you. Otherwise, stick with your typical plank. That's always a good one too. Q is for quick feet. A lot of athletes use this in their workouts to boost their aerobics and build their footwork. Feet spread, hands up, and all I'm doing is running as quickly as I can, shaking and using my whole body. We'll try it one more time. Stay on your toes. Don't let your heels touch the ground. You're moving those legs as fast as you can, getting our heart rate up. Here we go. As fast as you can. Beautiful job. R is for Russian twists. I'm going to sit on the ground with my bottom down. My feet have two options. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, or if you'd like an extra challenge, really engaging your core, you can lift your feet up off the floor. I'm going to start center with my hands in front of my chest, and I rotate my shoulders to touch the floor on one side. When I go back to center, I'm going to rotate in the opposite direction and then come back to start. Over and over, side to side, full rotation with your chest and your shoulders, getting that full range of motion each direction. And again, if you'd prefer, you can try it with your feet on the floor, side to side this way. Either way, you're getting in a really good burn. S is for shoulder taps. We're back into push-up position. Flat back, straight line. I'm going to lift my right hand and tap my left shoulder. We're going opposites across our body. Then I'm going to lift my left hand and tap my right shoulder. The key here is to stay parallel to the ground and not to shift our weight back and forth, but to stay firm with our shoulders facing the floor the entire time. Try not to shift your weight as you rotate from hand to hand. Tighten all the muscles in your core and even through your legs for better balance. Nicely done. T is for tricep dips. You can do these many ways. Sometimes it's the easiest if you have a chair or a bench to place your hands on. If you don't, that's totally okay. You can just use the floor. You'll find yourself bottom down, feet flat on the ground. Hands come behind you, flat on the floor, fingers facing your body. I'm going to lift slightly off the ground. My arms are straight. In this exercise, you bend your elbows slightly and then you go back up to a straight arm. Slight bend, pushing your elbows back, not out, but back, right behind you. Now here's the trick. It's a very small range of motion, but if you're doing it right, and if you do enough, you will definitely feel the burn. Notice, it doesn't look like I'm doing too much, but boy do I feel it. U is for upright rows. Again, my feet are spread just slightly further than shoulder width apart. I'm going to start with my hands straight out in front of me on my thighs. I'm going to pull up to my chest, my elbows out, and then back down to start. For my upright rows, sometimes it's helpful if you have some weights to make that pull a little bit harder and heavier. However, if you're activating all of the muscles in your chest, your shoulders, your arms, and your back, after a few, you will really start to feel it. B is for V-ups. So we're back down on the floor, bottom planted. I'm going to place my arms stretched out in front of me. This will help me with my balance. And I'm going to straighten my legs up to the sky. W is for windshield wipers. I'm going to lay my back down, bottom planted, hands underneath my bottom for support. My legs go out straight and up to the sky. I'm going to go from side to side like the windshields of your car. Really engaging my abdominals to pull my legs back up to straight and the obliques on the side. To make it harder, you can take away your support of your hands and throw them behind your head. Now, you're going side to side and you're forced to use just your abdominals to lift back up to center. So much harder that way. X is for X abs. Lie down, flat on the floor. You're going to bring your hands overhead and lift the back of your shoulders off the floor. From here, I'm going to bring my feet up to the sky and cross my feet with my arms. So I'm bringing my arms overhead and then down towards the floor as my arms cross in an X position and then back out. Keep those shoulders off the floor. Engage your abs. Don't forget to breathe. Your legs stay straight. Push with your hands to activate the muscles in your arms. Nicely done. Y is for yoga pose, and it's your choice, but I'll show you a couple different options. First, we'll start with our standing, feet together, hands in prayer position in front of your chest. You're pushing through your heels, rolling your shoulders back, and lengthening your head up towards the sky. Activate the muscles in your arms, your chest, and your back by pushing your hands together when you're in this prayer position, and hold your core nice and tight. That was mountain pose. Another yoga pose for standing position is one of my favorites, a forward bend. I'm going to breathe in and bring my hands overhead. On my exhale, I bend forward to the floor. I encourage you to hang here for a couple deep breaths. Keep your neck in line with your spine by looking straight down towards your shoes. And feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into your stretch with every breath that you take. When you're ready, slowly come back to standing. And roll your shoulders back. One of two seated yoga poses I really love is child's pose. I'm going to sit with my shoelaces on the floor, shins on the ground as well, and then my bottom sits back onto my heels. I open my knees out to a comfortable distance, not too wide, but not too close together. I lift my hands as I breathe in, up over my head, and as I exhale, I'm going to bring to my mat. Your forehead touches the floor, and your muscles in your arms are activated and engaged, reaching long out in front of you. Breathe here. And when you're ready, come on up to a tabletop position. Your hands directly below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Shoelaces still touching the floor. My second favorite seated floor position for yoga is called the balancing table. Really challenges your balance and your coordination, and it works your brain a little bit too. We're going to lift opposites. So my right arm comes straight out, parallel to the ground in front of me, and my left leg pushes back, straight leg, activating all the muscles in my body, holding tight and firm, stretching long, parallel to the floor, breathing here, and relax. Change sides. We're going to lift our left arm up, straight, parallel to the floor, and kick our right leg back. Again, elongating our body, stretching our arm forward and our foot back, parallel to the floor, straight line, breathing here, holding nice and tight, and relax. Again, Y is for any yoga position that you like. So be creative, do whatever you want. Those were just 4 examples of some of my favorites. You made it to Z, awesome job. Z is Zigzag Pops. I'm going to use my mat to jump side to side and forward and back, but you can always just do invisible spots. I'm going to start jumping to the left, launching from my right side to my left side in a forward and sideways motion. Immediately upon landing, I'm going to launch back to my right side, again, in a forward, sidewards motion. Then, I will jump back to the left side, jumping backwards and sideways, and then from there, immediately upon landing, jumping back to the right side in a backwards, sideways motion. It's tough to keep your balance. It'll look like this. Feel free to switch it up and go to the other side. It'll look like this. Awesome job. Thanks again for checking out my A through Z exercise alphabet. Don't forget to drink plenty of water, stay active, and stay healthy.